Okay, so right now I'm going to show you how to make a pelagic setup. So this is for a running float setup, and the one I'm using right now is a ganged hook setup. So you use pilchards here or strips of squids and whatnot. So right now I'm going to use a size 4.0. This is a Kumho gang hook. I prefer this because these are really sharp, and it's just enough size for a pilchard. We have here Daiwa Thread FC. This is fluorocarbon. I prefer 50 pound when I'm using size 8000 reels, and then the rods are rated PE2 to PE4. So PE2, 3, and 4. 50 pound is perfect. For most pelagics, this is more than enough. I've caught a number of sharks using a 50 pound as well, and a lot of kings and big bonitos as well. So this should hold off most of your pelagics. Okay. So we have here an EVA float. It's rated 15 to 56 grams, so that includes the entire load of it. So it includes the sinker, the hooks, the civil, and then the bait itself. But this one I believe can hold up to like 70 grams, because what I'm using for this is a 47 grammer ball sinker. As you can see, there's 47 gram there. I use them for this setup, and I attach a whole pilchard, sort of like 20 grams or to 30 grams sometimes, and it still holds up. So I will just keep it as such, and it's still perfectly fine. It still floats, and you can still see it when you cast it in the ocean. We have here two small beads. That's what I use for. One is used for a stopper. The other one is used as a buffer in between the ball sinker and the swivel. Okay, we have here swivel as well, and then that's pretty much it. Now let's get to it. First, you need to have 3 meters long setup. I usually use 3 meters because I love to fish in situations where there's a bit higher swell. So from 1.4 say to 1.8 meter swell. So that depends on your fishing location. I know my fishing location well, so I believe 3 meters is really good. So that's about it. What I do here is do a overhand knot and then lock it up, not too tight by the way. Okay, then from the opposite tag end, grab that bit, insert your first bead, then again that will act as a stopper. After that, you insert your float top first. Okay, then your, what do you call this, sinker. So it depends case to case basis, by the way. Mine has a metal guard, so I don't need to put a bead in between, but if yours doesn't have, I would prefer to put another bead there. So for me it's just straight away. And lastly, another bead to act as a buffer, so your sinker doesn't bash on the knot here when you're connecting the swivel. So swivel. My go-to knot is a Palomar, so this is just overhand, as you can see. Loop this this part, loop this in, slightly tighten it, slightly, not too much, and then you insert that swivel head. Grab that tag end, like put your loop there, and then slowly close it, and as you go, if you can wet it, that'll be good, and tighten it. I bite the tag end and then pull it at the same time so I can tighten the setup. There we go, so it's tight now. Then cut the tag end. Okay, so that should be good, as you can see. Then again, the way it goes is that, say if you're casting like this, when you lift it up with your rod, once this hits the water, the sinker will bring down the gang hook. Your float will go up like 3 meters long, and it should stop from that top bead. And this part imitates the leader to your braid, so your go-to knot, the bead should stop from that knot anyways, and that will act as a stopper. Okay, now last part would be connecting your ganged hook to your swivel. Some people connect it straight away. They don't need a swivel. So what happens there is that it looks like sort of like this. Your ganged hook is just beside your sinker, and what happens more often than not is that this part bashes to that knot, whatever knot you use for your hook. It bashes there all the time, and with ball sinkers or any lead sinkers, this actually gets deformed, and that inner circle, that hole, becomes sharp. So if it happens all the time, it bangs onto that knot, that will cut the line easily and you lose the fish. So that's what the bead is for, sort of like act as a buffer so you don't cut that important knot right there. So the way I do this one is I add 1 foot long of a leader. Sometimes you use a 30-pound, say this is a 50-pound, right? And you attach a 30-pound line. If this one gets snagged and you have to pull, the first thing that falls off is the thinner leader, which is a 30-pound or a 20-pound, whichever you take. And you can still save this rig, which still is something, right? So right now, I don't usually get snagged anyways. I use a 50-pound. Some fish, some pelagics, like the tailors, they have really sharp teeth. So a 30-pound, they can easily bite off, but 50-pound, they have a bit of a trouble chomping that one. Okay, now let's connect this one with a Palomar knot. It's quite standard. Okay, as you can see, I temporarily put a overhand knot, grab the tag end, put that inside the loop. So that's how you do a Palomar without a hook on the other side. Wet it, and then pull. Then again, I bite off that tag end and pull at the same time. So that tightens it. Cut the tag end. Lastly, I connect my ganged hook with the Palomar. So basically just use a bigger loop here. Insert both. Careful, by the way, when you're pulling a ganged hook or any hook, because you might hook up yourself. So standard Palomar. We're using it a bit bigger this time around because we're going to insert 3 hooks. And that's where it goes inside, goes outside. Okay, and then just pull in slowly, wet the line, that's tight, and then same thing goes, I bite and then pull, not too much so it doesn't damage your teeth. That's it. Now that's the entire setup. So as you can see, there is a fair gap between the swivel and the sinker later and the bait, so the bait is just simply hanging by itself. Now the way I prepare this one is I simply just do this. I pinch it lightly, okay, the line, and then make a roll. Here you go, make a roll, make a roll, a bit more. Not too tight, by the way, so it doesn't damage much of the floater. And then you use the hooks, the ganged hooks, to keep it in place. So just lightly puncture that one so it doesn't show off. Puncture that bit wherever it lands, and puncture the last bit wherever it lands. Now you have a pre-tied setup. Now, if you want to use one, you lost the setup, say you lost the setup, just unhook those things, unravel them, unravel, right? And then just open this up, and then connect this part to your leader. So you can simply undo this one, or just leave it as is, and then do your preferred knotting method, and then you have a rig straight away. Right.